Now it's not. There it is. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning and welcome to the Shred Show Live. You can see his smiling face. My heart is beating fast. I don't get nervous very often, ladies and gentlemen, but we have the one, the only, the legendary, the white-collar warrior himself, Mr. Coach Bill Hart is joining me today, and I cannot tell you how excited I am to have him. He is truly one of my heroes, one of my mentors, one of the few people I look up to in this industry, and he is joining me, and we're having a conversation that is literally going to change your life. It's going to change your mindset. Going into a busy 2021 year, you may have that mentality is, I'm too busy. Well, we're going to discuss that. We're going to go into it a little bit deeper. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to miss this. I have the one and only Bill Hart joining me. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? It is time to shred. What is up? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Shred Show Live. So excited to have all of you joining us here. If you are joining us live, comment hashtag shred. That doesn't mean you're shredding with Bill and I this morning, hanging out. And if you're joining us on the replay, comment hashtag hustle, because you're out there, you're getting it done, and then you're coming back right here to get what you need to be successful in your business. This man needs no introduction. This man is an absolute legend within our industry. He has helped motivate, inspire, and change the lives of so many people in our lives. He's recently made a move to our good friends. I'm repping it out. Movement Mortgage this morning. Our good friends over at Movement Mortgage. We're both wearing t-shirts this morning. Thanks to my good friend Jake Failing and Casey Crawford for the shirt. But Bill, welcome to the Shred Show, sir. I'm excited to have you here.
Thanks, buddy. I'm excited to have you here. I do have one question for you. I'm excited to be here, but I have one question for you.
Fire.
When you brew coffee in the morning, do you pour Red Bull through the coffee grounds instead of water? Is that what you do?
It's how I don't even drink coffee. People know, like, I literally don't drink coffee. I am known to drink a Rockstar on occasion in the afternoons, but
okay.
I get excited. You and I were talking about this. People are my passion. Like, I get so excited when I have somebody like you. My energy just goes through the roof because I'm just like, I got Bill hanging out. I don't need any coffee. It's just I'm high on life here, brother.
Naturally caffeinated, man.
There you go. That's all it takes. But I am excited to have you on the show. And like I mentioned, you recently made a move to Movement Mortgage, which they are truly, like, I'm just blessed to have you. I know so many people over there at that organization. And your official title is what? Say it again. I'll totally mess it up.
No worries. National Leadership Coach.
Man. And there's so many great, Tim Davis is over there and the coaching organization. There's so many incredible people. Shout out to the entire Movement Mortgage family over there. This is not a paid sponsorship, but we love them. That you and I have talked about this. It's just good organization, and it's cool to see you there. But we have some things to get into today that I'm really excited about. You made a post, guys. If you don't follow Bill on your social media channels, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram as well. Like, if you don't follow Bill, you even have a YouTube channel, don't you, Bill?
I do. Yep.
Go check out Bill on all the major platforms. But you made a post a couple of weeks ago that I caught on Facebook talking about this mentality of I'm too busy. And when I listened to it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, people need to hear this. This will resonate with so many professionals in our industry. So I want to dive into this. I want to unfold this a little bit. This Sure. I'm too busy mentality is killing us in business. Is it or is it not?
Yeah, I think it is, Josh. And look, I'm guilty of this. I know that I've said it. Some of you watching this right now are going to say, my coach has said that to me. I know he said those words to me. So, like, guilty is charged.
Yeah.
And so I say that to like join you on the other side of the table here to say, I get it. We all do it. It's an easy thing to do, particularly when asked, how are you? That's an easy place to go. The thing that I want to challenge you on, particularly as a loan originator or as a leader in the mortgage industry, is I want you to assess, what do you think's happening at the other end when you say that? My position is, I think you're inadvertently wearing it as a badge of honor in many cases, because our culture honors busyness. We just do. And so we talk about the number of hours that we work, and we talk about how little we sleep, and we talk about how the fact that we were working on our vacation. And I just want to encourage you right now, if I'm talking to you, like, just stop it. You can break this pattern. This is not me just pontificating with an opinion, Josh. Nope. This is me as a guy who's been in this chair for 17,000 hours over almost 20 years of coaching in the mortgage space.
That's amazing.
And here's what I want you to think about, you guys. Everybody knows let's go through a list here. Josh Metal, Jeremy Forcier, Dan Keller, Linda Davidson. I could list 25 people who, when you think of them, they don't, you wouldn't picture them that way. You wouldn't picture them saying, oh man, I'm just so busy. Like, that's not how they come across. They come across centered, they come across focused, and they come across in control. So that's sort of that's the problem. And I want to describe a little bit of the solution, and then we'll figure out how to get there. But does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that absolutely makes sense. And some of those names that you mentioned, and I've talked to many of those people, they just don't have like, they always are willing to make time. And as busy as they are, which those are, I mean, top producers in the country, they're always willing to take time.
I think that's the test, man. I think that, for years, for 25 years, I did an interview series with top producing realtors called the Real Estate Performance System for the Duncan Group. Later, it was my interview series called TalkJet. And it was the funniest thing, man. I would reach out to a realtor who had done 50 units in a year, and they're going to tell me they're so busy, I don't have time. I don't know when I could do it. But if I talked to somebody who did 200, they'd be like, yeah, when would you like to do that? You want to do it now?
Right. Yep. Right.
What's the difference here? And the difference is there's a moment in time where you have the opportunity to have a breakthrough, where you can break through those lies of busyness and say, you know what? I'm going to get in control of my schedule. I'm going to get control of my day, and you're going to lose some things along the way. There's no doubt. If you're a loan originator, guaranteed you're going to lose a referral partner. There's a realtor who is out of control, who expects you to be out of control, who wants a pre-approval letter on a Saturday night at 9:30. And you know what? I'm asking you, do you need them in your world? I'm gonna butcher it horribly, but Dr. Henry Cloud said something like, you basically get what you allow. And if you allow yourself to be in that kind of chaos all the time, Josh, then you're just always going to be in that chaos, and you're going to be that person that is going to complain about the industry, although you made an insane amount of money. So I just want to be that kind of grumpy old coach, you remember my get off my lawn?
I do.
Video,
yes,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah. I want to channel my inner Clint Eastwood again and just say, stop it. Stop it. Like you can control this, right? You can be in control, or you can be a dipshit. And I'm saying, why would you? Like, why wouldn't you just make the effort to say, I want to get control of my life? And the way to do that, there's an article that I think I sent to you. So that if you want to just show them this,
just show it.
It's a great article. It'll be in the show notes or right here. But, Mike Hyatt is the chairman emeritus of Thomas Nelson Publishing. He co-authored Living Forward with Daniel Harkavy, the founder of Building Champions.
Yeah.
And this article, Take Back Control of Your Schedule, is him basically saying, design a perfect week and then create your perfect week. Here's what I've learned from this, and that's enough. They can see it now. But what I learned through one of those interviews, it was Valerie Fitzgerald, Josh. It was a Beverly Hills realtor. Many of you in Southern California will know Valerie Fitzgerald.
Absolutely.
She told me, dude, 22 years ago, she said, here's the thing. People respect boundaries, but you have to establish them. That's gospel truth, right?
Yeah.
That's just gospel truth.
That's one of those things too. And as you talk about this, it's more of a like personal perception or mental perception or something we create for ourselves, right? This isn't something like
100%.
we all have the ability. We all can make this. We can make this happen in our lives, but it's something we do to ourselves mentally. And I honestly, Bill, like I say this, not to offend, but I think sometimes as mortgage professionals, as real estate professionals, the industry does it to us. And we're just like,
oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah. So when that, and that, you're right, because look, if you think about our business compared to, and I think they don't need to see that article anymore if you don't want to, but
take it off.
Yeah. Because I want to see your face, right?
Me and you.
I mean, we were there, but we were like postage stamps.
Yeah.
The industry we are on this we are in a constant sense of Mission Impossible theme song in the background, right?
For sure.
It right. I filled out a 10:03. Dun 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 dun, and it's like they're constantly, these loans are going down this conveyor belt, and I'm constantly dealing with dates and deadlines, and I understand that. But the magic of what you convey when you convey that I am in control. Think about this. I am now conveying to borrowers, to referral partners, to title, escrow, closing attorneys, anybody that's around your ecosystem. I'm conveying, I'm going to control my part. I've got this under control. RJ Crosby does a fantastic job with this. I don't know if you know RJ or not, but he's just got this great sense of calming people down. I tell people recently, we replaced a window in the house, and I had two guys come out to the house, and the one guy was like, food stains on his shirt, and he pulls up in an old beat up truck that just looks like crap. And, he's like, well, I don't know. It's hard to get glass. Could be a while. I don't know. Might be this much, might be that much. Could take this long. The other guy pulls up, golf shirt, totally put together. The truck is like perfection. He comes in, whips out an iPad, shows us exactly what it's going to do. Like, you tell me, who do you think I chose?
Oh, that's a no-brainer.
And price was not the issue, right? It was like, oh, give me certainty. If you give me certainty, I'm going to engage. Like, here's my credit card. It's the exact same thing in our business. If I convey, I'm in a state of chaos and I'm just way busy and I'm out of control, I don't think I want to hang out with you.
No.
But if you convey to me certainty and control and you engage with me, like, Josh, you are the most important person to me right now. Forget that I got all this other stuff going on. You could say, instead of, if you want to wean yourself off the I'm so busy response, you could say something like, wow, we are really running hard, but we are blessed to be able to serve a lot of families right now. The most important thing to me right now, though, is to hear about you. Tell me a little bit more about your situation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So now you're acknowledging, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, but you're not saying, I'm out of control. So I think it's a fine line. I'm saying I've done it. You've done it. I just think we need to look at it so that we convey a little bit more certainty and confidence to the people that we work with.
I think what you literally just said, these last 2 minutes of what you've been talking about, is the definition and the reason that people are talking about AI. They're talking about the future. They're talking about technology. But this little factor that you just talked about is the one reason that the big lenders of the world, the rockets, the application, they will never be able to take over what we do, is because a bot cannot portray what you just said. People, human natures at heart, who we are, like, just from the very beginning, is we want to know that people understand us, that they are that Bill he is listening. He knows what I am going through. He understands my challenges,
exactly,
my heartaches. A number taker won't do that. Somebody who is just like cranking through, like you said, they're pushing numbers through a pipeline. They will never. Sure, they'll get some of them. They'll get some business, but at the end of the day, it's the people who are willing to sit down, take the time, and get to know people on a whole different. And here's the thing, what you said about chaos, many of you LOs, many of you originators, real estate agents, you experienced that in 2020. You probably, and you need to go back. And I would recommend even taking the time. If you ever treated somebody, a client that you're like, oh, I just kind of pushed them through, go back. What are your thoughts on this, Bill? Do you still have an opportunity to go back to that person and say, you know what? I didn't treat you, that our relationship, I didn't have that level of respect. I want to just make sure you and I are good. What are your thoughts there?
I really love that idea. Actually, Brian Buffini and Tim Templeton, who wrote The Referral of a Lifetime, I don't know which one of them said it first, but they had a letter. You could Google it and find it very quickly, and it was called the I Goofed letter. I don't know if you ever ran across this, but it was designed for you to send out to your database and say, I was so busy. What they were referring to as refis. In a refi market, like, I wasn't paying attention to my referral partners and my borrowers, right, in the way that I should. And it apologizes for it. Like, I apologize. The thing that matters the most to me are my relationships with people just like you. And to that end, I want to let you know that I'm going to be calling you and I'm going to be reaching out. And I want to demonstrate to you that I care. So I think that principle is completely valid. And yeah, man, if it was something that was just like last week, like if you feel completely convicted right now, I think to Josh's point, write down the names of those people that you feel like you didn't do justice to, and just fall on your sword. Say, you know what? It's easy to get caught up in this, and I did. But the thing that matters the most to me right now is you. And I'd love to schedule some time and really find out a little bit more about your story. I think that's a great idea.
Well, now that you mentioned the whole Brian Buffini thing, I think somebody had talked about it. I've heard that idea in the past. So see, there you go. Still like an artist. Brian Buffini, one of the greats of our industry. If he was doing it, that's just one other opportunity to go back and do it. Bill, this is still something like, as pipelines continue to grow, the market is starting to settle a little bit. What are some of the things that you are sharing being that you are with Movement, being that you have coached for so many years, what are you really telling people? What should they be focused on? Where should their mindset be now more than ever?
Yeah. Relationships. It's relationships. I think you nailed it with as a matter of fact, I wrote this down, and if I use it, I'm going to give you credit. You said inadvertently, I think, a bot cannot. And there's a really good chance that you'll see a post with that title, because I believe that's the issue, man. I believe that the issue and the opportunity is, can we compete with Rocket? No, we cannot, to your point. But I think if we know, and I'm not going to disparage them, and I don't even want to describe what's been described to me, because I'm not sure it's accurate. But if you think about that environment in Detroit, who's working, who's answering those phones, whether or not they're being timed for how long they're on those calls, what kind of money they're making, what kind of training is required to be there. Like Google, here's an interesting thing. I did this the other day. I don't know if you can do this while we're talking, but if you Google image, Quicken, I think it'll probably work before they change the name to Rocket, Quicken call center, and you just do an image search on that, what you're going to see is, every .com floor space with cubicles and lots of colors, and it's a cool looking, like you could see somebody just on a skateboard, right, going down the hallway.
There's a quick image right there.
Right. Yeah. So they like that one kind of in the bottom, in the center there with the pink walls and so forth. It's just, they do a great, they go to that one right there, down a little bit. Yeah, that's perfect. I mean, this is what you're competing with there. And we just have to recognize this is apples and oranges, you guys. This is not your world. That is their world. They're very good at that. Quick calls, get to the chase, scooping out vanilla ice cream, right? Like those are their loan products. We need to be looking for the people that need help. And you have lots of people that need help, particularly after a year and a half of COVID, for goodness sakes, right? So the number one thing that I would say, there's a million ways to go about it, but double down on relationships right now, Josh. That is what it's all about.
Well, I think now more than ever, like you just said, going through 2020, going through COVID, going through the pandemic, still in parts of it, people want like human relationships more than ever. And like you said, that just taking that extra couple of minutes, I know you think you're too busy, but what Bill is talking about, get over that mentality. If they perceive even a little bit that the call that you are on, that you're distracted, that you have something other, that it may not even be more important, but if they feel like you have something else to go do, you're losing them. They don't feel like they're connecting with you.
So that could be a whole nother show, and you should file that away, whether it's me or somebody else that does that with you. I think, how do we really and truly, we used to have them sitting across from us at the desk, or in a Starbucks or in their living room. Now it's Zoom or similar, right? We've got some kind of, virtual connection. This is what you and I were talking about, Rene Rodriguez, earlier.
We were.
This is something that he has absolutely mastered brilliantly. His timing was spectacular. If you are not attending an Amplify event with Rene, make sure that you just track him down, watch videos, talk to other people that have. But he has figured out, like just this. He has. I don't know if there's a way to. I don't think we can with the broadcast technology that we're working on right now. But my whole background, even this little bit of blue light It's over here.
Yeah.
That's all his guys saying, you've got orange light on your face, right? So you're not washed out, but we want a little blue light over here, kind of like the cool red accents that you've got. The great mic. You and I have both got great mics. You've got headphones. I've got speakers out here. You guys, we got to think this stuff through, because if that's our primary way to connect with people, to your point, I think we have to find out how to not be distracted, how to be completely focused, ask for permission to take notes, whether you're doing that old school like I do,
Look at that.
or if you're typing, right? Ask for permission to take notes and then confirm understanding. The more of that you do, the deeper you're going to go with people who, as Josh, as you said, are craving human connection now more than they ever have.
Yeah. There is a whole show, and we're bringing you back for it. You and I are going to set up an entire, because we could spend an entire episode just on that alone, and it's probably necessary. All you people, all you originators, all you realtors out there, like now more than ever, what we're talking about. So, Bill, you and I, we're going to schedule. It's going to happen. Yeah, and now we're teasing. No whole other episodes coming up. You guys are going to have to stay tuned for that. So, Bill, I've taken so much of your time. This has been absolutely brilliant. I want to end on this, as we've kind of been doing just for fun. We have our good friends over at Pod Decks send us these interview decks, and I want to throw some random things out at you. Totally random at the deck. Let's throw them out your way. Here we go. Let's do 3 of them. Are you related to anyone famous or historical value? If so, who? Are you really anybody famous?
Yeah, man. My 6th great grandfather was Sam Houston.
No way.
My mother's maiden name was Houston. So when I'm in Texas, I'm related to their president, is basically how Texans see it. Yeah.
You're a big deal. And they go down there and
big deal in Texas.
A big deal in Texas. There you go. What is something in life you really have an appreciation for that most people don't?
Language.
Ooh, what? Now dive into that just a tiny bit. What do you mean language?
I love sentence structure. I love communication in general. I love words. I had a client, he'll know who he is if he's watching this, and he was using some incorrect words here and there. And I challenged him, and he stepped into it, dude. And he started doing this vocabulary thing every day. Huh. And now he uses words. He sounds like Mike Rowe. I don't know if you listen to Mike Rowe's podcast, but Mike pulls words out of his backpack that I've never heard before. And I just think it's such a wonderful way to communicate. And I think it's because I hate non-words. So like, it's, come on, we can do better than that. So if we're going to communicate, let's communicate effectively. I love language.
That's a really good one, actually. I love that a lot. I could learn a lot from you on that one, because even me, like, we're always learning, getting better. Okay, last one. If you could try out a job for a day just to see if you like it, which job would you choose?
Yeah, that would be the flight leader of the Blue Angels.
Oh my gosh, that would be insane. Have you've flown with the Blue Angels? You've flown in a jet before? I know I've seen the video, right?
It's a P-51. That's what's behind me there. Yeah, I had a group of clients get together and surprise me a couple of years ago with a P-51 ride. But yeah, I used to sell airplanes. I used to fly all the time. So before I got into the mortgage and the real estate business, that was my old world.
Oh, man.
And so they checked off number 1 on my bucket list. But now number 1 on my bucket list is a ride with the Blue Angels. So yeah, if you know somebody, come on, people.
One day. We all know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. That's Bill's connection there.
You bet.
It's absolutely brilliant. Bill, thank you so much for taking your time, sharing with us today. There's so much more. Ladies and gentlemen, this mindset, go back and listen to this episode time and time again. There are so many nuggets in here that can truly help you get to the right place. You're not too busy. It is a mindset. It's just you who has to choose to make that happen in your life or not. Huge thanks to Bill Hart for joining us, for sharing his expertise and his knowledge. And huge thanks to all of you guys. Thank you so much for joining us, taking time out of your busy schedule to shred with Bill and I today. As always, we appreciate you. We love you. Now it's time for all of you to go shred, go show up, hustle, repeat every day. See ya.